My name is Tyler Falcoa, and I am diagnosed with OCD and panic disorder. OCD is Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, and basically it's exactly what it states. You obsess over things and you act out these compulsions that kind of like rituals or things that you feel like you have to do as somebody with OCD, or else something bad will happen. I was 10 years old, I was playing football, and somebody had tackled me with a sharp chin strap clip and severed my bicep. Following that, I became very scared. I was scared to leave the house. I was scared to be without my family. I was scared that something bad was going to happen to me. And that's when I started having intrusive thoughts, like something bad's gonna happen if I leave the house, if I'm away from my family. Something bad is going to happen if I eat this food and it happens to have germs on it. I'm gonna get sick, I'm gonna end up in the hospital again. I'll have to wash my hands tons of times because I feel like no matter where I go or no matter what I touch or who I come in contact with, somebody has a disease or there is some illness on the countertop that I need to wash my hands. And I've gone, washing my hands 5 times within half a minute. I was in 4th or 5th grade, and my mom was like, all right, time to go to bed. And I had been watching a football game. And she told me to go to bed, and it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And I was so angry, and I said, I hate my room. I hate this bed, I hate my room, I hate this house. And the next day, my house burns down. And so I had this superstition in my head, and I said, oh my God, I caused the house fire. Even though it was because of a gas leak, I still felt like I caused it. And so I always thought if I say something out of line or if I don't do something to kind of satisfy my thoughts and my compulsions, something bad is going to happen. That's where a lot of my OCD came from, was because of that incident. And I was convinced that it was because of me. So for me, OCD is present in everything that I do. Of course, I got to take medication every day because without that, I can't control my thoughts. I have a hard time letting go of thoughts. Sometimes I'll go 3 to 4 weeks thinking and obsessing over the same things. It's hard for me to let go of thoughts, and it's hard for me to live my life. It's hard for me to be present in the moment with family and friends when I'm obsessing over something, because nothing else in the world matters to me besides that one thing that is really freaking me out. It takes me 3 or 4 times longer to leave the house because I'm too busy touching knobs and locking doors and rechecking to see if I turned off certain things in the house, rechecking to see if I unplugged certain things. A lot of people don't talk about OCD when it comes to intrusive thoughts. A lot of people talk about, having to be neat and having to, rearrange furniture, which is a part of OCD. But intrusive thoughts, intrusive thinking is a big part of OCD that a lot of people don't talk about. It's like you're chained to the thought, and no matter what you do, you can't stop thinking about it. When you're at work, you can't stop thinking about it. I've had dreams of thoughts that I've had that I've obsessed over. If you really, really get attached to it, you can have panic attacks. You can, you start to do things to make sure that nothing bad happens. It'll keep coming into your head. And then you'll start, if I don't touch the doorknob 5 times, then I'm going to hurt somebody or somebody's going to hurt me. And then that's when you start acting out things to kind of avoid, your thought becoming a reality, but it doesn't become a reality. The biggest thing that helps me when I'm going through, I like to call them like a spell, is talking it out. Definitely having people to talk to. My support system, they'll listen to me, they'll sit on the phone with me for hours, they'll sit down with me. I like to go for walks. I like to hang out with my friends and my family. That helps me. And sometimes when I have a really bad week of just bad OCD, the best thing that I can tell myself is, you've been through worse. That's the best advice, that I would give somebody who struggles with OCD is talk about it. Talk about it with somebody, because we're all suffering from something, and chances are they're suffering from something too. And I think that's exactly what the world needs right now. Because everybody thinks that the other person's fine. Everybody thinks that the other person is not dealing with anything, but everybody's dealing with something. Knowing other people have been through what I've been through is a lifesaver. Because the last thing anybody wants to feel when they're terrified is that they're alone. That's my biggest fear, is that I'm alone. I'm very lucky to have a support system that is very patient with me, and they've been kind of really on the sidelines trying to help me out with this for well over 15 years. Knowing that I am not alone, and knowing that it does pass. I mean, there was a point this past summer where I had OCD really bad, and I felt like I was never going to get over this. And I remember saying to my girlfriend, I was like, I hope that I'm better by next summer. I physically remember saying that. And it's October 20th, and I'd say I'm doing pretty well. And right now I have the urge to knock on wood, but that's something it's just an automatic thought that comes to your brain. Like, you feel like you're like, oh God, like if I don't knock on wood, I'm gonna relapse. You kind of have to play that game with yourself where you're kind of like, and if I do go down that road again, then I'll deal with it again, just like I did the first time, and I'll get through it again. Just a lot of mental games, a lot of just coaching yourself. So that's kind of my how I deal with OCD. I will say one thing positive about my OCD. I have a very clean house. My clothes are very clean. My music sounds, I would say my music sounds very tight. I think my music sounds like an OCD person made it.